Do y'all think that the better team won, or was this just a bad game?
They got a cloud hanging over their head.
You execute when you're supposed to execute, and we didn't do that. They were the better team in that game.
What is up, everybody? It's Wes, and I'm not saying that this is the best time of year,
Yes, it is.
but the weather in the evenings has got
Of
a
course.
slight chill lately. Most teams in college football are starting this week. Life is good. So I'm just saying. Jesse, how are things with you?
I am happy that it is fake fall for everybody in the Southeast. You understand that we've entered that season. It's fake
Just a
fall.
tease.
We're enjoying it. Life feels like there's some hope, but don't cling to it too tightly because the heat is coming back. She coming.
Oh, it will.
And then
Absolutely.
we'll enter a second fake fall. But enjoy it now while it lasts.
Yeah, and by the first fake fall, we're talking, I mean, it's still the highs are like 85. So I mean, let's not get too crazy,
It was
right?
a high of 78 here. And like not to
Oh,
be
nice.
a geriatric person that just talks about the weather, but we really needed it.
We really did. But your joints weren't, stiffening up yet, were they? So
No,
no, it's
my
not that
feet
cold.
isn't calling for rain.
Yeah. Matt, what about you? How's
I
everything?
mean, I'm good. Taylor Swift got engaged to Travis Kelce, so
Yeah.
congratulations to them.
We can't break that news. It's already
I
been
mean,
broken, but it's
I
pretty
know
new.
the entire internet knows, so congratulations to them, I guess. But aside from that, I mean, we've got football this weekend, so I'm excited. A lot of good
Technically
games.
started last weekend, but just not for us.
Not SEC teams.
Right,
We don't give
right.
a rip about anybody else.
I know.
Side
To
note,
quote, my new favorite quote is from, not to drop us completely off the end. There's a documentary called Southern Fried Lies. It's a true crime documentary. I highly recommend you watch it. And one of the main person, one of her favorite things to say is, I don't give a diddly damn about any of that. So talking about other teams outside the SEC, I don't give a diddly damn about them.
I love that.
nice.
I would just write it down.
And
Yeah.
to take us further off the rails, the way we found out about Taylor Swift getting engaged was my parents texted my daughter because they knew that they know that she's a huge Taylor Swift fan, and they saw it on the news. I'm assuming breaking as it happened,
I mean,
and
it's
texted her.
huge news.
Texted her. She runs in the room and talks to me. Hey, did you see this? And I was like, I don't know if that's true. And I was like, let me look it up. Oh my gosh, it is true. So there you go. Good job, mom and dad.
So I guess are we changing the name? Are we now officially a Taylor
A
Swift,
Taylor Swift
tribute podcast?
I mean, it's
And
kind of been that way for a while, hasn't it?
I
So-
guarantee we'd probably get more foot traffic.
That's right. All right. Well, I don't have a sting for this, but let's go ahead and get into our tiers. We did this last year where we kind of go through in the preseason and give our overall rankings of how the teams we think are. I guess it's really how we think they're going to do and kind of like their current condition, right? Matt, why don't you go first? I'll throw the graphic up when we put it on the YouTube or also TikTok. But why don't you read them out to us and let us
Ooh.
know who you've got there?
This is a lot of pressure having to set the tone for our rankings. So let me start.
Mad at you first.
I'm going to start all the way at the bottom. Okay, all the way at the bottom and work my way up. All the way at the bottom, and I hate to say it, but I think Mississippi State's just plain awful. This is a team that last season really struggled top to bottom. The question about the head coaching, is it the guy, is he not the guy? The ghost of the Pirate is still out there. I think this is a situation where State's just not going to be able to haul the mail, and I think they're just going to be plain awful this year. In my next tier up, I've got my dog water. These are teams that will surprise some people randomly, but they're still going to struggle, and they're not going to be that very good. In fact, most of the conferences in my dog water tier this year. Oklahoma, obviously having their own struggles last year. I know they got a new OC. I know they got some things going on. They got some pretty hyped up recruits coming in, but I'm not sold until I see something on the field. So Oklahoma's down there. Auburn. Oh, Hugh Freeze. We had such high hopes, and it just has not materialized at this point. I think that they're also in that dog water tier. Vanderbilt, I also have down there. Diego Pavia is a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong, but his mouth was writing some checks, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can cash them come the next couple of weeks. So yeah, we'll see. Missouri, Kentucky, and Arkansas kind of round out that category for me. This is three teams that on any given Saturday they can probably surprise one of the top contenders in the league. But I just don't, and I hate that because I want Kentucky to be good because it's good for Tennessee. I want Arkansas to be good because we're big fans of Sam Pittman here on the podcast. Missouri could lose every game, and I'd probably smile. So I think I've gone on record multiple times explaining what my feelings about Drinkowitz are. I don't think I've made any kind of. I've not been very opaque about that. So just, that's kind of where I'm at as far as dog water. Midland, these are the teams that are kind of in the middle. They could have a really good season or they could have a really bad season. It just kind of depends on which way things break. I've got Florida down in this category. Again, a lot of question marks at Florida. They came on the second half of last season, but the beginning of the season was a little bit rough for them. It's going to be interesting to see what they've got. LSU I've also got down there, Carolina and Texas A&M. I really went back and forth on Carolina and A&M and maybe moving them up to that next tier due to the success that those two teams had at the tail end of last season. Is in particular Carolina. A&M had their struggles like we've discussed, and Jesse's a big fan of A&M, so we'll come back to that. But I think Carolina could surprise some people. They could move up into that tier if they get things to bounce their way a little bit. My next tier up's contenders. Not to be a homer, but my Vols are sitting in that contender tier. I know that y'all have your disagreements about that. We'll discuss. I think Tennessee has a lot of question marks on offense, especially at the quarterback position. I think the run game is going to be just as effective as it was last season. I think the wide receiver core is another question mark where we're going to have to see what happens with UT. Defense, I think, is going to be pretty stout. And that's the reason why I put Tennessee in that contender tier, because the defense is returning, I think, 8 or 9 of their starters, so they're not having to get rid of a lot of guys. I also put Bama in that tier. I know that we joke about the coaching change and how old Saint Nick's not there anymore. But there's questions about which way that could go. But it's Alabama football. They've still got the Jimmies and Joes. I think they're going to be okay. Ole Miss, obviously, with Lane Kiffin, there are question marks in both sides of the ball for Ole Miss this season, so it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to have. But those are kind of the three teams I've got in the contender tier. I think those three could contend for or win the SEC if certain things break certain ways. And based on scheduling and a couple other odds and ends, those are the three I've got. And then my favorites, who I think are going to be in the SEC championship come December, played at Mercedes-Benz, is the University of Georgia and Texas again. I think we're going to get a rematch of what we saw last season. I'm not sure who's going to come out on top of that game. We'll know a lot more after Texas plays this weekend, and we'll know a lot more in 3 weeks when Georgia plays Tennessee. So we'll see where we're at. So that's kind of where everybody shook out for me.
If that were to happen, that would be the fourth time in 2 years that those teams would play each other.
Yeah,
because they're coming to Athens this year.
Must be nice. We play Georgia every year. So. And Bama every year. So,
right.
I mean, it's nice that somebody else gets to play the Blue Bloods.
Yep. All right. So I like those. For mine, I did the just plain awful. We'll start from the bottom and go up again, like you did. Mississippi State. Sorry, Mississippi State. And I honestly don't think it's because there's like a lack of talent or lack of coaching. I think they've just been fighting an uphill battle for a while now, and they also have a really difficult schedule this year. So all of those things kind of stacked against them. I think they're still going to be kind of struggling to get out of that cellar there. Dog water, Auburn, because they've had that revolving door at quarterback. And once again, they're hoping a new guy will help them out in Jackson Arnold. So we'll see how that goes. I have Arkansas in that same category because they just had horrible ball security. And Taylon Green is back once again. So there will be consistency, but maybe we don't want everything to be consistent from last year. So hopefully he's figured out kind of how to protect that ball a little bit better, along with everyone else as well, because it was really a struggle across the board. And then Kentucky, because as we've always said, it's hard to recruit there. Their 8-season bowl streak ended last year, and they've had to dip into the portal to get none other than Zach Calzada. You guys remember him?
Right.
Yeah, he's
Wild.
quarterback there now, and the defense looks different as well. So,
I think he was the last Auburn quarterback to beat Bama, wasn't he?
ooh, that's an interesting stat. Maybe, yeah. That
I don't
I'm not
know.
sure. I'm not
I
sure.
mean, God, it hasn't he been in the league for like 30 years?
We're
Like,
gonna talk about him
People
more when
Hunter
we
we'll
get
Red
to the
Pro.
tier,
discuss, but
but
sheesh.
I think he's a seventh year senior.
That
So
COVID
anyway,
year, man. Gave everybody 3 years eligibility.
No, it's even older. It is Bo Nix was the
Bo
last one.
Nix. Okay,
Ah,
gotcha.
They defeated us 48-45 in 2019.
Ah, yes, that was that crazy
whew.
shootout
Yeah.
game.
I'm
Yeah.
Now,
trying to wrap my
remember,
brain around the idea of Auburn scoring 48 points in a
I know
game. We haven't seen
we
that in a
did
while.
have like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2-ish years ago, we had the like four overtimes or whatever, and they got close.
Mm,
Right. And then the Midland category, I'm putting OU there. Sorry, Brady. But actually, like you said, I mean, it's not really a cut. Like you said, I view the teams in Midland, they could go either way. So it could be good, could be bad. But I think they got a lot of potential, OU that is. So they could go either way. I'm putting Florida there as well because DJ Lagway is a beast, but are the pieces in place around him for the whole team to succeed? Mizzou, I've got there as well, mostly because they've got a favorable schedule that sets them up
again.
nicely. However, that might end up just being a paper tiger yet again. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, I know they're the Tigers. I get it. Tennessee, I'm going to put there. Sorry, Matt, because I know they lost a lot. I know you said they've got a lot returning on defense, but obviously there's a lot to overcome on the offensive side. However, Heupel, usually has them coached up well on that side of the ball, so we'll see. And I know they've recruited well as well, so they could end up doing some good things this year. Vanderbilt, I've got there as well because they've got some tough opponents this season once again. I think they're a good team, but it's just going to be challenging for them. South Carolina is much like Florida in the sense that Lenora Sellers is an incredible athlete, but we'll see who steps up around him. And then I've got Ole Miss rounding out that category for Midland because they just lost so much in the offseason and have got a lot to prove. So um, for the contenders, LSU, they're looking good. Nussmeier's looking to end his collegiate career on a high. Brian Kelly's looking to get over that hump. And then I also have Texas A&M in there. I think they're sneaky good. I know that they, as well as many of these teams, lost a lot in the offseason, but Marcel Reed is back. He's dynamic, and Coach Elko has them going in the right direction. So I kind of, I last year you'd say they were a dark horse. This year, everybody knows they're there. It's just, are they going to kind of continue to trend in the right direction? And then favorites, Texas. They're everybody's favorite. You just look anywhere.
Preseason number one for like the first time in what, 30 years or
A
something
long
like
time,
that?
yeah. But I think their odds to win the national championship, I think, is the highest. Arch Manning's the highest odds to win the Heisman. They're favorite across the board. So Georgia still is going to be elite, so I'm going to put them up there. A lot to prove. Gunnar Stockton's got some shoes to fill. I don't know if I'd say big shoes to fill or good shoes to fill, but just shoes to fill.
Some golem shaped shoes.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
yeah, and then I'm going to put Alabama there too, just because until they show me that they are going away, like for a long time, I'm going to put them up there because again, they're recruiting well, and they've still got some elite talent there. So, as you said, Matt, the Jimmys and Joes they've got. So, I'm going to put them there for now. That's all I've got. Jesse, let's see your tiers, and I cannot wait to hear these categories.
Jesse, we had all agreed we were keeping the same tiers, and then you went rogue here.
I first of all, I forgot we said that. I also
I think this is
forgot
going to
what
be half the fun with this.
I also forgot what they were. So instead of asking, I just I tried to remember the words that my niece and nephew use and reach the young demographic, right? Here we go. I'm gonna start from the top and go down.
All
All
right.
right. So our
Always
first
got to be
category,
different.
yeah, first category at the top is sleigh. All right. So those that are projected to slay. as my niece loves to say about 30 times in a sentence. Yes, you're going to call me a homer, but I do have the logic to back it up. I'm going to put Bama in that category. The reason is they had a pretty decent showing last year, right? Like last season didn't end the way we wanted, but certainly better than a lot of us anticipated. I mean, we still got a bowl game, it's not that bad. The other reason I think is we have talent coming back, a decent amount of talent coming back. We've recruited really well in the offseason. And this is the first season that Kalen DeBoer actually has his own guys there. He was not that getting a Nick Saban recruiting class is a bad thing. He inherited a Nick Saban recruiting class, but it's also not his style of coaching. So he's finally got a recruiting class in the building that's his. He's starting to adapt everybody to his style of coaching. He's got his coaching staff in place, hopefully working out some of those kinks. So again, I agree with Wes. Until they show me that they are, mid, then I'm going to put them up here. And everybody can call me a homer, and that's fine. The other one is Georgia. I think that is kind of self-explanatory. They've got a lot of talent coming back, and they recruited really well in the offseason. I think they're going to stay up there. I wouldn't disagree that we might see them in Atlanta come, SEC championship time. I'm going to put Texas up here. Okay. And I believe they are in the slay category. I think most people do. I'm going to caveat it just a little bit, though. There might be, and Texas is going to come for me hard, there might be a little bit of overrated in it. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it, and they could be, let's take Alabama, let's take my fandom outside of it. I'm not saying it because of Arch Manning. I know that a lot of people have said things about him, have some doubts. I don't necessarily have doubts. He's very young. I think he could step up and be the guy, right? My concern is on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Texas lost a lot of guys, okay? And you can have the best quarterback in the league. Alabama has shown on our own. You have a terrible offensive line, or you have new talent on either side of the line. That's going to impact your performance huge, maybe more so than who's actually behind center. So I'm just saying, I think they're slay. I'm there. I get it. They could very well be in Atlanta, certainly. But I'm just saying, watch the line, watch the O-line, watch the D-line, and see if they struggle a little bit. They may have some stutter steps in the beginning as they start to settle in. All right. The next one, and I don't know that I'm using this right, so I apologize. Brain rot words are not my thing. But the next category is let them cook. Okay. Again, I don't know if I'm using this right, but I'm doing my best.
I think you're in the ballpark, Jesse. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. I think you're good.
Okay. We'll say it with confidence. I'm putting Ole Miss there. I know that they didn't necessarily finish how we wanted them to, but they still got to 10 wins. And yeah, they were falling short of expectations, but I think Portal King Lane Kiffin can make some things happen, right? Like we've lost Jackson Dart. He's actually shown pretty well in preseason, if you've watched any preseason games. But again, I'll caveat this one as well. While Lane is our transfer portal king, it also can be kind of hard to get all those pieces integrated and performing at a top level. And again, they fell short with 10 wins. That's a lot of pressure. So we'll see. I don't think Lane Kiffin has any, heat on him about his job, but I'm just saying, watch it a little bit. Let's see how these pieces fall into place. But at this point, let him cook, right? I also, in my let him cook category, I have Tennessee. I think Tennessee, despite the potential issues at quarterback or new quarterback or whatever, all the drama off the field was, who cares? I think they're good. I think they've got a lot of talent there. I think they've been recruiting well. I know they have a tough schedule, and that's certainly going to play into it. And they may drop some that they should, pick up, but we'll see. I think that they're like 90% there. So those are the only two in the let them cook category. The rest is mid, which is kind of like Midland. I was close. Um,
You were.
I was trying here. My first one that I have in that category is going to be Florida. Um, Florida is Florida's an interesting one. Wes, I think you hit on it. DJ Lagway is an incredible athlete. But they do have that really tough schedule. I mean, really tough. And yes, they pulled off 8-5 last year. And who saw that coming? We were all stunned that that happened. And that got them, a preseason ranking, which is insane. But they have another tough schedule this year. They play 4 top 10 teams: Texas, Georgia, LSU, and Miami, plus number 19. All of these are current rankings. Texas A&M, and then number 21, Ole Miss, and number 24, Tennessee. This is wild. That's a hard schedule. So I don't care who you have behind center. That's going to be tough. And again, we all thought Billy Napier was gone. So for them to be mid, I think that's good for them.
We already had a nail in the coffin. Like I still don't know how he survived that, but
I'm
here he
still trying
is.
to figure out how they got to 8 wins last season, because we were convinced they were going to win like 2 games.
Yes, I was honestly shocked or predicting that 2 would be really hard to scrape out. Like hard. My next one is going to be South Carolina. So 9-3 season, not bad. Great building block as you're going into 2025. But I think they've lost a lot, especially on defense. They had 6 of their top 7 tacklers have to be replaced. Not easy, even with transfer portal rules. It's really hard. They do have a really tough schedule. So I think they may be fighting for bowl eligibility. Again, they may do what South Carolina does and drop ones that they should win and win ones that they should not win. We'll see. But I am saying they're going to be having to scrap for everything. My next one is Oklahoma. So OU, I know we talked with Brady about it a lot. We learned a lot about Oklahoma, what the expectations are. And I think they're fine being kind of mid right now, because last year they were a little less than mid. But again, they've got some of the pieces in place now. They've got headliners on the roster. They've got the coaches in place. Making 2 coordinator changes is a big deal. So if they can really start to implement their own systems, they can get the guys to buy in, then I think they very well may have a decent season. And mid is not that bad, right? LSU is my next one. I know LSU is going to come for me. LSU likes to come for me. That's okay. I hesitated to put them in the let them cook category, and that could be wrong on my account. They do have a dynamic player in Garrett Nussmeier. He's settling in. He's going to finish out his collegiate career, like you guys mentioned. And they were able to get quite the haul from the transfer portal, as a lot of teams were. And so we'll see. I mean, I think if they can get their offense going, they can really let Nussmeier settle in, keep him healthy, keep him, playing on the field, then they may be able to move up into that let them cook category. But for me, I'm really interested to see how this weekend goes. Can they beat Clemson? How do they perform? I think that's really going to set the tone for them for the remainder of the season. My next one is A&M. I know I'm not just saying it because it's A&M, but they made some progress last season. They were stepping up. They had some instability at quarterback, no doubt. They had a lot of injuries last year, and they still went into November 7-1, which is not bad. They had 2 top 10 wins. So they weren't that far away from being able to compete for the SEC title. I think they're going to continue to make some progress, and maybe by mid-season, end of season, jump out of mid and be in let them cook. Mizzou. They have to figure out their quarterback situation. We all know that. And they do have, I'm not really good with his last name, Bo Tribula? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
Sounds right.
Didn't know he was going to be the guy, but he's the guy. They do have some clear leadership out running back, so that's going to help them. And they have a manageable schedule yet again. So mid, I think so. And then we get into the next category, which I entitled Sigma. So
I think
Sigma,
I think you're right because I'm looking here. It's used in I looked it up. Is used in a nonsensical, repetitive way within content considered low quality or trivial. So sounds
That's pretty
right.
accurate.
got it, nailed it. I'm putting Auburn in that category. You guys touched on it already. Auburn, ever since getting Coach Freeze, and again, I think everybody, including the boosters, thought that they had made a good hire there. They just have not had an identity at all. And they're going to continue to struggle. We made jokes before, oh, get transfer quarterback, get a transfer quarterback. That's what they do. That doesn't seem to be working anymore. I don't know how to help our brothers on the plains, but they're Sigma right now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Alabama fan. Arkansas is my next one. I want them to do well, but you've already touched on it. Ball security is one thing, and they have not played, in my opinion, 4 full quarters consistently. I mean, they just haven't. And so for me, Coach Pittman's gonna have to pull through this season. Otherwise, his barbecue pit might start heating up. The coals might start turning on.
I think this
I
is
think
his
they're
sixth
already
year.
on.
I think that's right. So he's kind of at that point where people are like, look, is this all we've got or is there more? So
When you start having teams last year that were really low expectations, like a Florida who was almost out, like a Vanderbilt who was able to get some wins, when you become less than, it
Yeah.
doesn't look good in the SEC. You cannot keep your job. It doesn't matter how much they like you. They're just going to bring you in and say, what would you say you do here?
hmm,
You're not going to be able to answer it. Um, Vanderbilt is my next one. Again, Diego Pavia, incredible athlete, but and I'm not saying this from a place of saltiness, but we'll see if we're able to carry over that magic into this season. Was that a flash in the pan? Who knows? We're going to find out. And then we have the final category that I like to call Delulu. So it's delusional, but the kids are saying Delulu.
Oh
hmm,
yeah, because
right.
multi-syllabic words are kind of difficult. Got it.
Yeah. So Delulu, I've got State in there. We know Miss State. We feel for them.
We
We
do.
want them to do better. And again, it's a hard place to recruit to. It's hard when you are not doing well and you're already a hard place to recruit to.
Right.
It's tough. I mean, you've got so many schools before the transfer portal that were snatching up talent out of the state of Mississippi already. Keeping in-state recruits there is really tough because you're also competing against Ole Miss. Starkville's just a hard place, and I hate that for them, right? But something's got to happen. It may be a coaching change. There may have to be just a complete cleaning of house. I don't know. I don't want it to be that way, but we'll see how it goes. And then my other one's Kentucky. Kentucky is my America's Next Top Model, Tiffany. And it is, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And I just have not been impressed. They have fallen short of expectations. And Kentucky, Lexington is not a hard place to recruit to. It's just not. And so I don't know. I think they've skated by for so long, but because the sport is changing and because those that were at the bottom are now kind of in the middle, they're going to have to step up. They're no longer able to skate by and be like, it's okay. We won more than we lost. It's fine. I think expectations, even though they were so intense before on the top tier schools, I think that is now trickling down to the schools that were not top tier necessarily. Because now with the transfer portal and NIL, anybody can be top tier.
Fair.
That's what I got.
All right. Well, Thanks for doing those. Exciting times. That means we're getting down to it when we start making evaluations like this. So interested to see how each of these teams does, and then we'll do one at the end of the season and rehash everything. See
See
what we
see how wrong we were.
see what we got right, see what we got wrong. So
I think
Right, 'cause they're
last year was
inadequate.
really rough, wasn't it? Like we were wrong about
for
everything
some
last
of
Everything.
year.
them, yeah, yeah. As
We
I
had
say,
Florida at plain
Dog,
awful
yeah.
Lulu.
And then they
right.
ended up being, I wouldn't say
Mid.
contenders, but they were
They were upper Midland,
upper Midland, couple wins
close
away from that
close to
contender
letting them
spot.
cook. So-
Oh my God, I hate it so
Close to
much.
cooking.
Wes, have you heard the 6-7 thing? That's the
I
new one.
have, I
Okay, good.
have.
It's not just me.
No,
That's I heard that for the first time the
I
other day too.
tried
but I don't
I
know any
tried
meaning behind it. All I know
There's
is
no
it's just
meaning.
random
It's
numbers.
just nonsense to
Yeah,
make adults' heads explode.
yeah. No, I believe it. Yeah, got to
I
have
couldn't
something.
figure it out enough to put it in the tiers.
All right.
I hate
Well,
it.
we did have a little bit of news that broke this past week, so let's go ahead and talk about that real fast.
Here's the news.
All right. So the SEC announced it will implement a nine-game football schedule beginning in 2026. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey had this to say about it. Adding a ninth SEC game underscores our university's commitment to delivering the most competitive football schedule in the nation. This format protects rivalries, increases competitive balance, and paired with our requirement to play an additional power opponent, it ensures SEC teams are well prepared to compete and succeed in the college football playoff. How do we think? What do we think about that? Is it a good decision? Is it long overdue? Is it like caving to pressure? What do y'all think?
I think it's definitely caving to pressure because every other conference makes fun of us and says that we schedule cupcakes, and the reason that we have these all these wins is because we don't play anybody, which okay. But joke's on you, we're scheduling your conference. Fine. The thing is, I think I'm not mad about it. You can cave to pressure and it's fine. It will hopefully shut up the naysayers. It will allow us, like it did in 2020, to truly just figure out who is the best because we don't have to guess as much. So it allows that. And I think it's really fun as a fan. And if you're a student, and maybe if you're a player, to actually get to play more games against conference rivals, because at the end of the day, if you're in conference, you're almost a rival. Like we feel it when it's in conference. And I think it will give students the opportunity to travel to more stadiums, which is a really exciting thing. If you can travel on a $10 student ticket, you might as well while you can, because you're never going to get one at that price
Ever.
ever. And it will allow the student athletes to truly learn more, play more, and test themselves. I think it's a great test for the guys out there, and it's a really good test for the coaches. You can no longer say, well, if so and so was coaching against so and so, then it'd be completely different, but we'll never know because they don't get to play each other. They might get to play each other now.
Yeah, very true. Matt, what do you think?
I've always been a big fan of the idea of you get one tune-up game and then the rest of your games are conference games. I don't know why we play as many as we do. I know it's revenue generation. It is what it is. But I don't see this as a bad thing. I think you let the SEC beat itself up. Whoever comes out on top is the biggest, baddest kid on the block, and then they can do what they need to in the playoff. Now, that has not worked out to our advantage last year, but with that buzzsaw that was Ohio State. But that doesn't negate the fact that I think this isn't the worst decision. I like the idea of playing more SEC games. I am a little concerned about what this is going to do for not the rivalries, but some rivalries. Like, for example, with the way I saw a couple articles that said, and I'm just picking Tennessee because that's what I pay attention to. They said that the three permanent opponents for Tennessee were going to be Vanderbilt, Alabama, and Kentucky, which eliminates Florida, which eliminates Georgia. And those are big rivalry games. I know they're not so much from the Georgia perspective, but they definitely are for Tennessee fans, especially for this Tennessee fan, because I hate Georgia. So I'm a little concerned about what that's going to look like. I much kind of prefer the East versus West thing, but I'm a bit of a purist. I still think we need 12 teams, and that should be the top. But I'm not getting into that debate right now.
Go back to the old SEC teams.
Well, if you wanted to get really technical about it, you could go back to having 10 teams and call it a day. But that's not never going to happen. So is it a bad thing? No. Is it caving to pressure from other conferences? Probably. But at the end of the day, it's all about who's going to be the biggest, baddest kid on the block. And the other conferences have been chomping the bit to see us tear each other apart. So let's give them what they want.
Yeah, I think it's caving to pressure, maybe not necessarily just from other conferences, but even like media pundits, because you're under the microscope for everything nowadays, especially with the way the game is now, and with all the money that's involved in it and all that stuff too. So I do think I think it could be both. I think it's caving to pressure, but I also think it's the right thing to do because you want to showcase to the world that you are the best conference. It's really hard to do that when you, I hate to say it, but you're right. I mean, we had a ton of cupcake opponents, and I get their beef with us from that standpoint. Now, will I say that the other games that we played are tougher than what a lot of them will play? Yeah, I think that's also true. But then we also scheduled some cupcakes in there as well.
So does the Big Ten and everybody else. I mean, look at Ohio State. Hold on, let me pull up Ohio State's thing real quick because you Ohio State fans can come at me. We got our butt kicking last year. I'm fine with it. It is what it is. But
open your DMs and take your beatings like a man.
Yeah, take your beatings like a man. I'm about to take my beating like a man. Listen to what's on the schedule. They have Grambling in week 2.
Yeah,
they have Ohio in week 3. They got Washington in week 4, and then they get into conference play. But their conference schedule's Illinois, Wisconsin. They do have to play Penn State, Purdue, UCLA. Come on.
That's my thing is like, I would say that our conference schedule is tougher.
Rutgers. If Rutgers is on that schedule, I don't want to hear anything from them.
Right. But then I guess if this is the case, then you're just taking all of that off the table and you're saying, look, you don't have any room to complain anymore because we're going to do this. And then I do like the extra game because it protects rivalries. To your point, Matt, there's concern with those rivalries going away. Now you have an extra SEC opponent, so you can maybe try to preserve some of those. And then they have the additional requirement to play an additional Power 4 opponent. So I think this will help the SEC stand kind of head and shoulders in terms of strength of schedule above everyone else. So we'll see how that pans out, though.
To play devil's advocate for a second, I feel like strength of schedule doesn't matter near as much anymore, especially for the top tier of the SEC. As long as you're winning the conference or playing for the conference championship, you know you're getting into an expanded playoff field. Like you know you're getting in.
Does help.
The only team that's going to have to worry is the team that lost 2 or 3 SEC games. Then you have to worry about strength of schedule.
Right. And then it's the eye tests and you get into all that mess of
eye test is just a mess to begin
and everyone's eye test is different, but in their own mind the eye test is consistent. And I'm like, no, it's not. No. You're not being objective, but I digress. But I mean, overall, I think it's probably the best thing to do in order to stay competitive and all that good stuff. So, all right. So I think that does it for our news segment. And so, you know what this means? It brings us to our predictions for week 1. And let's go ahead and talk about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right. So let's talk about the games of week 1. And game number 1 is Central Arkansas at Missouri. That is Thursday, August the 28th at 7:30 on SEC Network. Matt, what is your prediction for Central Arkansas at Missouri?
Now, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. I wish nothing but ill will towards anything coming out of Missouri this year. I said it. I'm sorry. if you're a Missouri fan, I
Is
hate your
anyone
coach.
surprised?
I
Like,
hate
I
your
don't,
coach.
this is not a big
I
reveal.
detest your coach. Like him and Beamer could. Anyway, I think Missouri wins this thing. I'm still not sold if they're actually. Well, again, there's a lot of football to play. I don't think they're as good as they think they're going to be. I say Mizzou 30-14. I think they give up a couple touchdowns.
All right. Yeah, maybe a slow start, but I think that they take off with this one. I'm going Mizzou 48-7. Jesse?
Directional school. I think this is going to be an easy win on a very manageable schedule for Mizzou. I'm picking the Tigers 45-10.
All right, next is Auburn at Baylor. That's Friday, August the 29th at 8 p.m. on Fox. Matt, what's your prediction for this one?
Baylor. What conference they in now? Is that Big 12 still? Is that still a thing?
I thought that well, I don't know. Heck, I can't
It
keep
it
track.
it doesn't matter. Baylor's going to win this game. Auburn's not very good this year, I don't think.
Yeah, they're in the
Baylor
Big 12.
28-24. Baylor 28-24.
Okay. Yes, they're in the Big 12, Baylor 28-24. All right, let's see. All right, so this is okay, I agree with you. This is going to be a tough Baylor team for Auburn to go up against. This is the same Baylor team, well, not exactly the same, but a similar Baylor team that gave LSU a run for their money in their bowl game last year. And the experts seem to think that they haven't lost much of a step, as Auburn isn't favored by much. I'll still go with them, though. I'm going to go Auburn here, 28-24. Jesse?
They are not playing at Jordan Hare. They're not very good. I don't think they have an identity.
They need a sweater
I'm gonna
vest.
go. They need some. They might need a whole onesie at this point. I'm picking Baylor 31-24.
All right. Let's move to a big matchup on Saturday, Texas at Ohio State. Getting started with a bang here. Noon on Fox. Matt, what's your prediction for this one?
Listen, this is tough. This is really tough. This is a tough game to pick. It's in the horseshoe. It's Arch Manning's first like actual kind of sort of start. Um, it's a noon kickoff, which I don't really care for.
Yeah,
But on the flip side of that, I feel like this game should have been the night game, but I don't even know if they have lights at Ohio. Yeah, they do. I think they do. I don't remember.
they do.
I know they don't have bathrooms in the concourses from everything I saw on Vol Twitter. They had to bring in porta potties. No lie. That was a real thing. That really happened last year during the playoff game. Anyhow, I think Ohio State's lost a lot of strength here, and I think Texas is going to be one of those teams that's going to be in the mix. I think that Arch Manning being young, plus that environment's going to lead to this game being closer than it would be normally. If they were playing this game at Texas, I'd say Texas by 2 touchdowns. But they're playing it at the Shoes, so I'm going to say Texas 35-20. Or sorry, 35-30.
All right. Yeah, I think this is going to be tough for Texas because it's on the road, to your point. I am going to give the edge for quarterback play to Texas because even though we haven't seen Arch Manning in sole possession of the keys to the offense yet, he did play against some very tough teams last year, including Georgia. Ohio State starter will be Julian Sayin, and although he's apparently been very good in practice, we just don't know how he'll do. Because of that, I'm going to give Texas the edge on the road here. I'm going Texas 27-24. Jesse?
I agree. I think you guys covered it. With this being a road game, first time out there, starting, he's truly the guy. And there's a lot of pressure, not just because of his last name, but with expectations and all the preseason hype going into it. He's come out recently and Arch Manning has said, I just want normal. Sweetheart, you are not getting normal unless you change your last name and get plastic surgery on your face. But I am going to.
The Manning genes, they run. You can tell he's a Manning.
Are strong. There is no denying them. So I'm going to pick the Longhorns in this one. I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be a close one. I hate that this is a noon kickoff. That is weird, especially because it's going to be even earlier for those that are waking up in Texas. But
Yeah.
picked the Longhorns 38-35. Hopefully their kicker is awake and ready.
Yeah. I kind of hate it too, but from the standpoint of now we have some really good games like spread out throughout the day, so you can
All
literally
day.
just watch quality
Sit on the
games.
couch and watch football all day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Which is what Saturdays are for. They're
This
not
is-
for weddings. They're not. Listen to me. Come close. They are not for weddings. Schedule that crap for the spring. I
Oh
say
man.
that as
bye
somebody
week.
that's going to end up probably missing the Tennessee Florida game this year. So because of a wedding.
Missed 2.
Mm,
Missed 2 weeks.
yeah.
It's not
think
hard.
originally
You have-
scheduled a-
You have the entire spring. You have the entire summer. Like there's like a 14-week period where we don't need you scheduled or scheduled on a Thursday or Friday. I got married on a Thursday. It was a third of the price. There's a pro tip for you.
I love it. That's good stuff. And that was free. Nobody had to pay
Yeah,
for
I
that.
gave that to you unsolicited.
That's right. Oh man, let's move to Syracuse at Tennessee, noon on ABC from Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. Matt, what you got for this one?
There's a lot of question marks in Knoxville. You had all that situation with you know who. I won't say his name on the podcast anymore. Going to UCLA and all that. We did a talent swap with at the quarterback position. But I think if Heupel has not proven anything, he can turn some people into a decent quarterback. And I'm pretty sure that Tennessee is going to have a decent quarterback in this game. So I like Tennessee winning this thing big, 42-14 Vols.
All right. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Even with a lot of losses in the offseason, I think Tennessee's got enough talent and depth to get it done here. I'm going to go Tennessee 31-17. Jesse, what do you got?
Why is this being played at Mercedes-Benz? Like, no offense.
Because they love neutral site games. It's just, yeah. Don't get me started.
It's the ACC showdown thing. Every year it's an ACC team and an SEC team.
Yeah.
I don't know who decided that we need to play this thing in Mercedes-Benz every year, but I would have liked to have seen a home and home. Like play at the Carrier Dome one. Do they still play at the Carrier Dome? Is that still a thing? Play at Syracuse one time. Play at Neyland one time. Like it. Look at the place. It looks great. The orange will all blend in. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just an odd choice for a team that's not ranked. But I'm gonna choose the Vols in this one. I don't imagine they'll have too much trouble. I'm going with Tennessee 35-13.
So Matt, you are sort of correct. So it was the Carrier Dome, and now it is the JMA Wireless Dome.
Carrier Dome sounds much better.
Same place.
And the only reason I know Carrier Dome is because in 1998 the Vols started on the road at the Carrier Dome against Syracuse. The year after we lost a highly touted quarterback to another team. So, not
Gotcha.
saying, listen, history doesn't repeat itself, but that crap rhymes. It rhymes. Just saying.
I love that. That's good. Good stuff. All right. Next is Mississippi State at Southern Miss. This is also noon. Did I write down? I don't know what channel it's on. Maybe it's ESPN Plus. I don't know. Anyways, check it out.
It's on the local on the local public access channel
It's somewhere. So with the tough schedule this year, experts are putting Mississippi State's win total at 4.5. So they better take advantage of games like this. So Blake Shapen is back and looking to stay healthy this year. I think if y'all recall, he missed, I think it was like 9 games last year. I think it was a shoulder injury or something like that. Yeah, they're going to have to take advantage of that. I'm going with State here, 35-24. Jesse?
You can do this. You guys got this. Start off on a high. I'm going to pick the Bulldogs in this one, 28-17.
All right. And then next is...
I don't get to pick?
Huh?
Did I pick? Did I
No.
say my pick? No, I didn't. Wes just blew right by me.
Oh, wait. You were supposed to go first. Man, did I do that?
You did.
Man.
You went straight to Jesse.
Man,
no,
I'm
it's
just
okay.
going back and forth
It's-
here.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
man, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I have you
Everything's
listed first, but somehow I just
fine.
skipped
I
on
even had a
ahead.
funny joke. I had a completely funny joke for this, too. You ready for it?
Go for it.
Okay, listen. You could put Brett Favre back on Southern Miss's roster. I don't think they're winning this ballgame. Mississippi State 24-10. Although Brett Favre has bigger fish to fry right now.
In Mississippi especially, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not
so.
supposed to steal from the welfare folks. Anyway, go ahead.
Especially when you're a millionaire.
Especially when you're a millionaire.
Yeah. So All right, my apologies, sir. We'll try to get things like a well-oiled machine here
Be a
eventually.
professional, Wes, for
We're
God's
only two
sake.
episodes in. We're going to get into this.
We got to
We're
get
going to
back
get it
into a
going.
rhythm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's it. All right. Next is Toledo at Kentucky, 12:45 on SEC Network. Matt, what do you got for this one?
Hey, like I said, I don't think Kentucky's going to be that great this year, but I think this is one they're going to win pretty handedly. I like Kentucky here 35-14.
All right. Yeah. Uh, guys, Kentucky is only favored against Toledo at home by 7.5. Uh,
Oh,
by the
did
way,
not know that.
we talked about Zach Calzada at the top of the show. Remember him? He's a seventh-year senior. We talked about all that stuff. Here's a brief history of Zach Calzada. Started his playing career at Texas A&M, spent a season at Auburn, and had some good years at Incarnate Word the past two seasons. Actually led them to the FCF playoffs last year. Yeah, they're FCS school. And now he will be Kentucky's starting quarterback. So it's a long, circuitous journey for Zach. I'll say being at home seals the game here, though. I'm going Kentucky 28-20. Jesse, what do you got?
Nothing like some inspiration to come from Incarnate Word.
That's right.
I don't know their mascot, but the name makes me laugh. I'm gonna pick Kentucky in this one. I think the Wildcats are able to take care of Toledo, despite the fact that they're not favored by much. But I'm gonna pick them 31-14.
Alrighty. Moving right along to Marshall at Georgia. That is Saturday, August the 30th at 3:30 on ESPN. Matt, you're shaking your head. What do you got?
I'm shaking my head because I had a very, 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 very bad joke, and I'm not saying that on here.
Okay.
We will discuss it later, but I'm not saying it on here because it's really bad. It's really bad. I think
Okay.
UGA wins this game 45-10.
Okay. My interest is piqued. So lots of storylines.
You gotta buy the Patreon to get that joke.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
we go.
Like and subscribe.
Lots of storylines for Georgia this year. This is Kirby Smart's 10th season as Georgia's coach. It's hard to believe it's been that long.
About 8 years too long in my book.
Gunnar Stockton's the guy now. Wide receiver room is exciting with the addition of Zachariah Branch from USC. We'll see how a more experienced Nate Frazier does, along with a few other running backs in that room who should get some carries this year. But most of those storylines are going to have to wait for a real test, though, as Georgia gets started with a couple of smaller games. To our point earlier about scheduling, expect lots of things to be tested in this game, though, and for that, I do expect Marshall to score some. So I'm going to go Georgia here, 52-10. I think Georgia's going to score a lot, but I also think there's going to be a few breakdowns on defense, and they get 10 points, 52-10. Jesse, what you got?
It's just interesting. The coveted 3:30 slot, and it's Marshall.
Yeah, what is that all about? Like y'all couldn't come up with a 3:30 for Marshall? Like what?
Yeah, I guess the real highlighter for 3:30 is Alabama, Florida State. Georgia Marshall is just sort of that background game at 3:30.
I guess so. Odd choice, but okay, it was a choice. I'm going to pick the Bulldogs in this one. I think this is an obvious one. I'm picking them 49-13, but young men, all right, young men in Athens, call an Uber, walk, whatever, call a pledge. I don't care what you do. Call somebody. Don't get behind the wheel. You know who I'm talking to.
You're not invincible. So,
But by the way, I still find it offensive that the 3:30 game's on ABC and not CBS. I'm still salty about that.
still hard to get used to that.
Although
I mean,
I will tell you that I did not mind last season not having to listen to that horse's ass that does color commentary for CBS.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured you wouldn't miss that.
Having him be sent to the doldrums of the Big Ten. Send him on. I have no interest in listening to Gary Danielson talk.
Whatever. He's an expert, man. Come on. Respect.
He's something. Move on.
All right. Alabama at Florida State. Game we were just talking about. 3:30 on ABC. That's the real big matchup for this time slot. Matt, what is your prediction for this one?
I still don't know if Kalen DeBoer's the guy, so I'm going to say Bama struggles in the beginning but pulls away in the fourth. I like Bama here 28-10. Florida State is just not that team anymore.
Yeah. So the rumor is that Florida State's back up on the uptick, but I don't think they're quite there yet. I mean, I think they're going to be a little bit better this year. So, I mean, Florida State expectation wise, it's kind of hard to be any worse than they've been the past few seasons, but we'll see. Even though Alabama's got to get used to life after Jalen Milroe, I think they'll be fine with Ty Simpson for this one. So also, Ryan Williams is 18 years old now. What are the announcers going to talk about?
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'm going to go with Bama here, 31-17. Jesse, what do you got?
Hey, fun fact about Ryan Williams before we move on. You know, Ryan Williams is one of the very few 18-year-olds that lost to Tennessee. So there's that. Go ahead, Jesse.
Why? Why did you have to choose that?
I don't know. It was there. Low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry. I'll do better.
I agree. I think we are not looking at the Florida State Seminoles of the past. And so Alabama is going to struggle, I think, in the beginning. There's going to be some stutter steps because Ty Simpson is a different player. He's a different guy behind center, and he is a completely different quarterback than Jalen Milroe. However, that may play well into the way that Kalen DeBoer coaches him and calls the game. So I'm going to pick the Tide, obviously, but I think Florida State will get some points on the board. So I'm going to pick Bama 35-14.
All right. And then moving, I don't know which direction that is. Where's Alabama A&M? Are they?
They're south.
Yeah, well, I guess Tuscaloosa is pretty far north, so most of everything's south. But yeah. Anyway, moving south, Alabama A&M at Arkansas. Well, so it's at Arkansas. You know what I mean. 4 p.m. or 4:15 p.m. on SEC Network. Matt, what's your prediction for this one?
With a couple of exceptions, when you have extra letters in your school name, it's not usually a good sign about the strength of your football program. Obviously, there are exceptions to that rule. But last time I checked, Alabama A&M wasn't a perennial contender in football. So I like Arkansas here, 28, but it's 28-20 because I still think Arkansas is going to have some issues keeping the ball in their possession. Maybe a turnover or two in this one.
Alrighty. Well, this is interesting. I gotta fix that because I went ahead and put my score, but I didn't put who it is. But yeah, so it's interesting because I was looking at this. Alabama A&M last year lost their opener to Auburn 73-3.
Oh, that's right, they did.
So I don't think it's going to be that big of a blowout this time, but I'm going to go Arkansas here, 56-6. So Jesse, what do you got?
Woof. Forgot about that one. Alabama A&M is at HBCU, so I think that's pretty cool that an HBCU is playing one of those blue bloods in the SEC. That's always cool. And if you're going to the game, if you ever get to go to an HBCU game, their halftime shows, their bands are incredible. So that's something to look out for. And something people beat Arkansas at, undoubtedly. I do not think that their football team is going to beat the Razorbacks, though. I am, because I forgot about the Auburn thing. I am going to pick Arkansas 24-21. Oops.
All right. Let's move to Illinois State at Oklahoma, 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Matt, what you got?
Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on a moment. Illinois State.
Are you looking up their mascot?
State. Yes. Illinois State.
Aren't they the one that beat what's his face last year? They beat Notre Dame?
Wasn't that Northern Illinois?
Them? Maybe it was the Huskies. It was Northern Illinois.
That's right.
No, Illinois State.
They're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I think they're the Cardinals. They're from the city of Normal, Indiana. Or Illinois, excuse me. Normal, Illinois.
See, they have a really good circus program.
How do you even know that?
I know someone that went there and was in their circus program.
Whoa.
Jesse,
what? Hold on. Time out.
Wait a second. I
think it's...
What?
Yeah, I need to hear the rest of the story, Jesse. Screw the podcast. We need to hear the story.
So like circus, not like not as in tigers and lion tamers and stuff, but like acrobatics, like
Okay.
the tight ropes and the hoops and the jumping and all the things.
Yeah.
It's called Circus. And I was friends with someone in Charleston, and she was from Chicago, and she went to Illinois for Circus. She was a gymnast, and she went into
I
competing and performing
did not
for
know that
Circus.
was a thing.
By the way, I know we don't get political on this podcast. We don't do that. That's not who we are. But
Unified Circus.
there's an argument to be made about useless degrees, and I think that qualifies. I think that qualifies.
It's just like going, it's like somebody going for football or somebody going for like softball. You go like, or dance. You go for circus. It's Gamma Phi Circus, and they are America's oldest collegiate circus.
Jessica, make your pick. Just make your pick.
So it's like a competition,
No,
like they're going to school for other things, but they compete in these things. Is that what you're saying?
Like you could.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, like
making
you
more
can
sense. I
play-
thought you
Now,
were saying like
yes,
they went to school
I thought-
just to do that.
I thought that was like clown
Oh, no.
college. I didn't know what was happening.
No, my friend is a therapist. She has like a master's in psychology and counseling and like all
Like
is
they
all
have
one
to
big
take a class.
misunderstanding.
They have to take a class in like the
Yeah.
logistics of moving the circus
Right.
and setting up the tent and making sure the baboons don't starve or
I had
something.
visions of like high wire testing, like, you get a 92 for that.
6.3. That was pretty good, Jimmy. Do it again.
I also went to high school with someone that was really involved in circus, and she went to Florida State for it. So,
Okay.
Anywho,
Oh my God, we're so off the rails.
yep, I'm gonna pick Oklahoma and not Gamify Circus at Illinois State. I am going to pick the Sooners 35-17.
All right. Long Island University at Florida. That is 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Matt, what do you got?
Wait, who?
Long Island University.
I know.
Here we go, Googling again.
Bear with me for a second, guys, because oh my God, I can't with it. It's in Brooklyn. Okay.
They're the Finley
the-
Sharks.
They're the Sharks. Yeah.
The Finley
Okay,
Sharks.
that redeems them.
Finley the
Sharks
Sharks.
is a really cool mascot. Okay, I can get behind that. I was worried it was going to be something weird like, I don't know,
Only as of 2019.
Port Authority security guards or something like that.
The Zips.
Are we still on the Zips? Listen, I don't even have a score. I'm completely unprepared. I'm going to pick Florida because who plays football? Who goes through high school, gets all the way to the collegiate level, and then decides, I'm going to go play football at Long Island University in Brooklyn, New York? No, UF, 38-10. God, get us out of here.
Hey, some family out there is super proud of their kid going there to play football at Long Island University. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we just Anthony's doing great. He's got a 4.0. He's going to college.
He's doing that
playing
side thing, playing football.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
What is
am
that school even known for?
Well, yeah, while you look that up, I'm excited to see a healthy DJ Lagway. I'm not sure what the playing situation is going to be for this one. I doubt he would play for long in this one if he's going there or if he's playing in this one. So Florida will take care of business here, though. Regardless, I'm going UF 52-7. Matt, what do you got? And then Jesse, let's hear.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie though, their basketball stadium looks beautiful.
Yeah,
Y'all.
I got
I'm
like
just
this ornate ceiling. We're so off the rails. We can't.
I'm tripping out over this list of notable alumni. Alex the Astronaut, Australian singer and songwriter. Shmuel Avishar, Israeli basketball player. Barbara Butcher, death examiner and memoir writer. Who's going to these schools? Go ahead. Let's move on.
I
can't. I just can't.
Is it my turn?
It is. Yeah. What do you got? What's your
No,
score?
I'm definitely picking Florida. 31-6. But like honestly, the ornate ceiling in the basketball It's like, wow.
It's probably a historic arena, more than likely. I just saw the school was founded like 1926, so it's been around for a second.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's see. Moving to UTSA at Texas A&M, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Matt, what you got for this one?
The Roadrunner usually wins, not in this one though.
Hmm.
Roadrunner's 38-10. Or sorry, Texas A&M 38-10.
I knew what you meant. Yeah, another blowout. I'm excited to see how Marcel Reed does, though. A&M here for me, 38-17. Jesse?
I'm also going to pick the Aggies in this one. 31-13.
All right, let's move to who's next? Charleston Southern at Vanderbilt, 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Matt, what's your score?
Man, I don't know. I'm shooting from the hip on all of these. Vandy, 28-14.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vandy bigger though, 41-7. Jesse?
I'm also going to choose, well, I put Candy, but I do mean Vandy.
I'm down. That's cool. Candy's
Ooh,
good.
the Vandy fans aren't gonna like that. Listen, there's 6 of them. They're really upset now.
Sorry. I'm picking Vandy, and I'm going 24-10.
All right, and here we are. We've arrived at our big matchup of Saturday evening, and that is LSU at Clemson, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Matt, what's your prediction for LSU at Clemson?
Oh man, that's lines right now 3.5. I hate to pick against the conference, but I'm not sold on anything out of Baton Rouge right now. I'm gonna say Clemson 27-24.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for this one late in the day. Nussmeier's back for LSU, but they've only got one wide receiver, Aaron Anderson, returning, so they tried to patch that up in the portal. So we'll see how that wide receiving core is looking for this game. Harold Perkins Jr. and Jacobian Guillory are returning, which would be big for the defense. And then I found this interesting. Brian Kelly says this is the best roster he's had in his 4 seasons at LSU, which is an interesting comment to make because obviously, that's going to boost expectations. So, what that means is championship or bust type of mentality there. So, on the other side, Clemson has Cade Klubnik back and lots of talent across the board. So, most experts have them in the thick of things at the end of the season. So, this one's gonna be a good one, I think. I'm gonna go. Well, first of all, I will say it's in Clemson. I couldn't say Death Valley because that would be confusing. I
So
couldn't say the Tigers would win because that would be confusing. So, yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm going to give Clemson the edge here. I'm going to go Clemson 31-28. Jesse?
that's so weird. I didn't think about that. Yeah, the Battle of the Death Valleys, the Death Eaters, the something. I don't know. I oscillated on this one, but and I hate them both. Uh, but something about me, despite him being an alumni, just kind of he's been irking me lately.
Hmm?
Is Dabo Sweeney.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna pick you on this one. I'm gonna go a little rogue and I'm gonna pick him in a close one. 24-21.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. What's the over under? Oh, yeah, Matt put it at 4 for Klubnik's parents being shown in the
Listen, they
stands.
showed him every friggin' time you turned around during the Orange Bowl a couple years ago. Here's Klubnik's mom and dad. Like the game's going on, and we're looking at his mom. Like, what are we doing? ESPN loves him a story, though.
That's true. Oh, man.
Gosh.
Georgia State at Ole Miss is next. It's 7:45 on SEC Network. Matt, what's your prediction for this one?
Listen, I'm shooting in the dark with a lot of these because we have no tape. We don't have any kind of frame of reference. It's just us shooting in the dark. So I'm going to say Ole Miss big here, 52-14.
Yep, I'm going to go Ole Miss pretty big as well. I'm going 48-14. Jesse, what do you got?
I agree. I'm gonna hang with Lane Kiffin here. I'm picking Ole Miss 38-13.
All right, Virginia Tech at South Carolina is the final game that we'll discuss. That is actually on Sunday August the 31st at 3 p.m. from the Benz in Atlanta. So they get even more excitement there this year or this weekend. Yeah, Matt, let's hear what you got to say on this
Well,
one.
I mean, listen, this is not old school Beamer ball. This is a Virginia Tech team that's struggled a lot over the last couple of years. I don't want to use the word irrelevant, but I feel like that kind of describes where Virginia Tech's gone in the last, 7, 8, 10 years.
It's
I mean, it's
fair.
been a while since Virginia Tech's been good. So I'm gonna pick South Carolina here. However, I'm still not sold on new Beamer ball, and we all know my feelings on new Beamer ball. Um, Still say they cheated for the Tennessee game. Not going to go there. It's a conspiracy theory. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. That being said, I like Carolina here 28-24.
All right, yeah. I am excited to see how Lenora Sellers and South Carolina play against a Virginia Tech team that had a decent season last year, and I don't know if y'all recall, even almost knocked off Miami, who was number 7 at the time. That was like a barn
Mm.
burner, really close at the end. So they're not, I don't think they're going to be a pushover, but I am going to go South Carolina here, 30-21. Jesse, what do you got?
I'm going to stick with the Gamecocks here. I think they will do what they need to. Sellers is a hell of an athlete, and despite any success that Tech had last year, I think Carolina's going to start off on a nice foot here. So I'm going to pick the Gamecocks 28-17.
All right. Well, that does it for the upcoming games this weekend. Super excited to get everything going and
I have
to
a
actually,
question.
yeah,
I'm gonna lay a question on you guys that came to me literally before we started recording
yeah.
because it's fun.
Hmm.
And you guys have no time to prepare. So how fun is that? Okay, so beginning
Can't
of this,
wait.
I know that we don't know all of the players, but if you had to pick a player and an ideal sponsorship for them in this world of NIL, who are you picking and what is the brand or, product?
Oh man.
You want me to go first? Because I already thought about
Yeah. Go ahead.
it. Okay. This person is not, they're no longer in the SEC. They used to play for Georgia. They
Oh, no.
transferred.
Uh, I
No,
know
it's
where
not
this
even
is
that
going.
bad. They transferred to Purdue. And his
Oh,
name
Oh yeah.
is Nitro Tuggles.
Tuggle.
Nitro
Yeah.
Tuggles.
Yeah.
And so there's this Monster energy drink that's called a Nitro, and I just want Monster to sponsor Nitro Tuggles.
Yeah, I'm actually really ticked about that because he was poised to be one of the top receivers at Georgia this year, and then he did what a lot of them have been doing and got in trouble, and then he was like, "All right, well, instead of serving my punishment, I'm just going to leave." So, anyway, I'm a little salty about that one. Matt, do you have one?
I no. I'm illfully uh
Well, I'm going to go
unprepared.
so you can have some time to think because
Okay.
this is not exciting at all. But like the first thing that popped into my head, just trying to think about somebody is, Lenore Sellers has those. He wears glasses. He's got to have some kind of deal with those, whoever the sports glasses company that supplies them. That would seem to make sense. I mean, it's kind of his look.
Like a
So
Warby Parker.
sure. Yeah, I don't, yeah, whoever it is, I think that if he doesn't have some kind of deal with them, he's missing out, to be honest.
Zach Calzada, some sort of back ointment, because that dude has to be pushing 35. He's been in the SEC. He's been
The
playing
You
football at the collegiate level for like 9 years.
hot.
the icy hot.
Yes,
It's
he
so
has an icy
yeah.
hot scholarship sponsorship.
Oh man. Is Shaq make an appearance? He's got to somewhere, so
Young man.
I wish I could do a Shaq imitation. If you never listen, if you get some free time, look up Jay
Jay
Farrow
Farrow, yeah.
doing Shaq. It's funny.
How to invite Shaq on the show, him and Chuck at the same time. Nothing would bring me more joy.
Be great. And Shaq's an LSU grad. So
And
Did he
Chuck,
graduate or did he just play basketball there?
Oh heck,
I
I
think
don't
he
know.
was
I know he went
I
there.
don't think he
Oh.
graduated. I think because he
he
was only there
graduated
for.
somewhere, but it may not be LSU.
I don't think it
know
was
he-
LSU.
Yeah,
I think.
And then obviously Chuck went to Auburn.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great. That'd be great to have them both on with a different context. Not talking about basketball, but just talking about their
Well, they're not
schools.
doing
Yeah,
TNT is no longer doing it, so they
yeah.
have time.
That's right. They got time. They need something to do. So
When Shaq's not DJing.
cool. Yeah. Oh, well, thanks for that. That was a great question. Thanks for our impromptu just for fun, Jesse. Um, yeah, let's do our outro now. So if you guys would like to hit us up and contact us at for email at pigskinsandpageantry@gmail.com. We are at Pigskins and Pageantry on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are at PPSEC Podcast on X. And don't forget, we're available for download. I'm not going to read them all. Basically, anywhere you can get your podcast, it's going to be out there. So just search for us, Pigskins and Pageantry. So if you enjoy the show, please subscribe and review. We'd love those 5 stars to increase our probability of interacting with wonderful people like yourselves. Until next time, so excited to finally watch some football. This is Wes. Go Dogs.
Y'all, I hope Alabama slays. And I'm not Delulu. Roll Tide.
Hopefully they're not Sigma. Anyway.
The brain rot has penetrated the entire show. Let's go Tennessee beat Syracuse. Go Vols.